I think I have spent more time at the airport working and traveling than I have otherwise. But yes, this has been pretty much like off late. And let me give you quick headlines. Jonathan Haidt, the author of the New York Times bestseller, which has sold over 2 million copies, reshared our content on sharing day. When the kids have exams, consciously or subconsciously, as a parent, you're holding a lot of emotional weight. It is sometimes that they break down, sometimes they feel like they can't do it. Sometimes they feel lost. Sometimes they want to cry. Sometimes they're very excited. Sometimes the paper's gone very well. Sometimes the paper's not gone well at all. So you just have to sort of be that sounding board and you have to be that punching bag and say, okay, you know what? It's going to be okay. Sort of staying up with them. You're waking up early with them. And sometimes it's just about making them that morning cup of chai or coffee and, just making sure that the meal times are met. Because I think when you study, you need that carb overload happening. So you're filling it with healthy snacks and you're making sure that at 4 baje ki bhook and that 11 baje ki bhook is all kind of met. So I think in many ways, just having both the kids' exams at the same time was challenging, stressful. But come on, guys, our parents have done it and I'm sure we can do it. Of course, we're managing work with it, but who else isn't? And guess what also just happened? We managed to do a fabulous job on hitting 50,000 views on this YouTube video, which was on Off Campus, which was titled I Pause 6 times. And honestly, a show of this nature does not come every now and then. And I think what really resonated with people was the 6 lessons in parenting that they could actually take away from the show. And this actually comes from my expertise of being a conscious parenting coach, meeting so many parents across different workshops, talks, panels that I actually do. And I think what was very interesting, and most people find it very, very funny that really, what do I do? But a part of my job is to also watch shows because I think shows are a great reflection of society. If I was to tell you, last summer, I was watching 3 shows back to back, which was Bad Influence, Adolescence, and Apple Cider Vinegar, which all 3 of them I've shared details right here. So you can actually check them out. But those 3 are classics in childhood trauma and how we become who we actually are running away from in our childhood. We actually become that in our adult life. And those 3 shows were actually resonated so much that in the entire country, which is a population of 1.4 billion people, we were the only people who thought that there was so much learning from the off-campus show for parents, which I am so glad. Okay, so I was invited at WWDC for the Apple Child Safety launch. And I think the whole world was guessing what is Apple going to launch at the largest developer conference that happens. And I was pretty sure, and I think I was possibly the only one who was really sure that they would do something in the parenting and online childcare safety space because this has been a very, very strong pillar that they've been working on very, very baby steps. But I knew that this had to be the reason why a creator from Mumbai, India, and the only one in the world actually found a seat at the table at the largest developer conference by Apple, right? So I was quite sure that not a techie, not a developer, but a parenting coach and a mom and somebody who runs India's largest and most trusted parenting platform has to be there because one of my most favorite brands is actually launching something in child safety space, which is something I'm deeply, deeply passionate about. Of course, they had a whole lot of tools and, screen time limits, etc., which we've spoken about in a detailed video, and you can watch that here. But this to me was 12 years of positioning. I started this journey in 2015 when people were giving their children iPads and iPhones and, getting onto the gadgets. But the big lesson is own a conversation before the world is talking about it. That's the only way to get a seat at the table. And being early gives you that unfair advantage, which you really do not want to lose at all. And you know what? They didn't even ask me to post about it on Instagram or post it on our YouTube channel, which has close to 500,000 followers, or on our parenting podcast, which is, by the way, topping charts across the category in parenting and childcare in India. But here's where the real flex actually kind of comes in, which is there's the difference between reach and credibility. So reach is like views, followers, impressions, all of that. That gets you brand deals and brand reach and, all of that. But credibility comes in when Apple says, we need a parenting voice in the room
where decisions about children's safety are actually being discussed. That's really the difference, because credibility gets you a seat at the table. And trust me, this credibility hasn't been built in one day, in 2 days, in 1 week, in 1 year. It's been built consistently over the last 12 years. So whatever it is that you are doing as a parent, as a mom, as a dad, as a child watching this video, just make sure that you are finding your voice and you're actually sticking by it. Okay, by the way, another very important thing that happened was we launched our 2 courses. One was on summer planners, and the other one was on 75 tiffin box ideas for parents. And I think it was the best decisions, because I think as parents we're so exhausted. Like, if somebody gave me this planner like really 12 years ago, I wouldn't need to create it. And I actually created and we sold it as a meal plan for a very, very long time. But this time we did a special one for Tiffin Box, including recipes and including hacks and including the best uppas that you can actually give your children. And trust me, it was incredible, because people haven't stopped buying it. Cash registers are ringing in all the time. I wasn't launching, I wasn't promoting, I wasn't glued to my phone. And all of this is happening while I'm in Phuket. Like, my phone, like while I'm dipping my feed into water, I just keep getting notification of the amount of money that's coming into the bank. And which was so good, because you are building a system that actually pays for itself while you're actually sleeping, which is again something that I think very few people inculcate or incorporate into their businesses. And, I just feel like when you give parents really what they need, it just changes everything. And we really identified that a mother, is really struggling to find these dabba recipes, because I struggled with it. Here's the first meal plan that I actually drew, and I wrote things in Hindi, so you can actually see it right here. And I really want to take a moment to share here that I'm very clear about talking about money, because I think very few women give themselves the chance to actually talk about money. We never want to speak about the freedom that earning money actually gives us, and the thoughts of who will buy my product, why will people pay for something. But you know what, you can get a lot of free stuff on Instagram, but I think what you actually end up paying is structure, is time. Like, think of it as Google versus like Claude or ChatGPT. You're paying for structure. You're paying for somebody taking that mind space from you. And I think people are very happy to pay for it. So if you really need to, start charging, please do. And by the way, while all of this was going on, we created a piece of content on projection. We actually did a reel on one of Lalit Modi's interviews, and it was so surprising that nobody actually picked it up. And his interview went like he was deprived of. His father never gave him a Ferrari or an expensive car, and then he went on to buy like 10 cars for his son from the age of 21 to 31 or something like that. And what was crazy is it was a classic case of projection. Now, this is what we teach in conscious parenting, right? And trust me, in my journey of being a conscious parenting coach of the last 5 years, I've realized, and of course, doing so many workshops for schools and for organizations and for parents, what I've realized is that unfulfilled need that you actually have, that desire, if not addressed, will lead to projection. Means if you have always felt that deficit mindset will translate when you become a parent, and you will translate that and transfer that onto your kids. So you will start overcompensating and giving your children things that they actually don't even need. Why? Because that unfulfilled child in you is asking for that validation. So you'll also see a lot of middle class parents today, first generation, जिन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छा किया है, they are going to never be able to say no very easily to their children. I think what was most beautiful about that post, of course, he collaborated, but I'm going to read out one of the comments that actually came by, and which was very, very heartwarming. So here it reads, I'm going to read that out. Say, this is absolutely right. We don't even realize that we're doing this. Overcompensating with materialistic things is how we parent today, and we need to change that. Thank you for sharing this post. We absolutely agree. And this is exactly what I said, right? That this whole journey of being a conscious parent, and obviously now I work to help many different parents be more conscious in their being, and learning about things like projection and healing the inner child is something that we're very, very keen on teaching each one of you. So if you are interested, leave that conscious parenting in the comments while you're watching this. Okay, and in all of this, I managed to clock in a holiday with my kids in Phuket, which I am very, very excited about because it was 4 days of absolute bliss, not doing anything, just being with them and kind of just letting life go by. I think we get so caught up in this framework of I need to be busy, because if I'm not busy, I'm wasting time. And if I am wasting time, I'm not being productive. And then we find new things to do. So somewhere I feel like we need to break this productivity loop and tell ourselves that it's okay to be not productive. And I think this loop somewhere comes from this previous childhood that we've had, right? Some situation in childhood where you've always had to fight for survival, or you had to struggle, or you had to figure your way out, or you had to do something, and therefore you keep creating work because that's the only thing that your brain feels is okay. That's the only safe space that your brain understands, that I need to constantly move my hands and legs to stay afloat. And I think that is so deeply sown in all of us as the first generation of working parents, that I think we need to believe that nothingness is also a great space to be in. Okay, and finally, I'm shooting obviously this in my Delhi hotel room. Now, your next question is, so Mansi, why are you in Delhi? Well, I am in Delhi because tomorrow I'm going to be on a panel with Uber, and the month closes after a lot of travel with a lot of fun stuff. It actually closes with Uber, a teen safety event that we're actually doing. The Minister from National Commission of Women, Uber's Trust Resolver, the APAC leadership team, everybody's going to be on the panel with me, a conscious parenting coach, and someone who works in the child safety space. And what are we discussing? We're discussing how can we keep our teens safe even while they're driving. And I think a couple of things that I think would be very, very interesting, which would be, how do we ensure that safety is maintained for all, irrespective of gender? How can we have, if we're having more girls take the Uber, can we have gender sensitivity, which is have more female drivers? How do we ensure that late night Ubers become safer? Long distances have more nudges and app notifications, which would put things into perspective. So I think a lot of discussions are going to happen tomorrow, which, by the way, I'm really, really excited. And I'm going to share all of it with you guys. Let's see how it goes. Of course, there's been chaos, but there's a pattern, and I think I've learned as a working mom to navigate these patterns somewhere, to find the calmness in the chaos, find time for myself, find time for my partner, find time for my family, find time for my parents, find time for my siblings, for my friends. And I think I've also said many no's, which I think is so, so, so important in all of this chaos. So I hope this video is something that you like. It's something new that we've tried. In the end, I'm only going to say that I think content builds reach, reach builds credibility. Credibility gets you a seat at the table in the right room. So whether it's Apple, whether it's Uber, whether it's the National Commission for Women, or whether it's Jonathan Haid's mention, or whether it is about doing more workshops in the conscious parenting space. And I think that this is the flywheel that we all need to understand, that there's nothing that we're doing which is not useful. Like, I think if there's one thing I've learned in the last 12 years, it's everything's compounding. Everything is sort of adding up. And I think also building is just not about a motivational poster. I think it's very messy. There are parts where I think I would have cried. There was parts where I think one night felt really ill. And I think that's the messy part of it. And the good thing is that you just need to show up and show up consistently. And I think that's the game changer. Let me know what you think of this blog.
For parenting tips, celebrity interviews, recipes, conversations with experts, DIYs, and lots more. Subscribe to Kids Talk Press now.